Hello guys, welcome back to Ceefashion Academy. Today I'll be teaching us how to cut a mesh shirt. So please, I want you guys to make sure you focus, make sure you concentrate, make sure you watch this video to the end so as to uncover all the secrets, and make sure you click on that like button so as to continue seeing our videos. Thank you very much. Okay, as you can see, this is our measurement. The shoulder is 17 inches, the chest circumference is 38, the shirt length is 28 inches, the round neck is 16, the sleeve length is 8 inches, and the round sleeve is 13 inches. Okay, I'll be making use of this method I call the together method, which means we are going to be cutting both the front and the back together. We are not going to cut it separate. Okay, now in order for you to cut both the front and back together, the first thing you do is you fold your material. Now, since we are cutting both the front and back together, we need to fold our front and back. Now, for you to fold the front first, cut out the pieces for the front, you need to be working with the highest circumference, which is actually the round chest. Okay, now in this case, let's say our round chest is 38 inches. 38 divided by 4 is 9.5. Add extra 5 inches to it. This 5 inches starts for both the 2 inches allowance for the flap, that is for the button, and 2 inches for the body allowance. Also, as you can see, this is the total. Now 9.5 plus 5, whatever you get, measure it as the width. Then also measure the length of the top. Also add your extra 1 or 2 inches allowance. Okay, now please do the same thing for the back, but this time around make sure that the back is 3 inches longer than the front. It is very necessary. This 3 inches is for the shoulder. The shoulder is always broad, so in order to make it lap and relax very well at the shoulder, add your 3 inches. Now the back is longer than the front with 3 inches, as you guys can see. Okay, so next thing you need to do is to fold your front. Are you seeing it? We folded our 2 inches for the front button. Okay, now in this case, next thing we are going to do is to do what? We are going to slant our shoulder, that is the shoulder slope, in order to make the dress relax very well. So next thing you need to do is to do what? Push the front. Are you seeing it? So that it will be equal with the back. Now, leaving the 3 inches allowance at the down part. As you can see, the back is still longer than the front with the 3 inches allowance at the back down part. Okay, now next thing you need to do in order to slope your shoulder is to measure out your shoulder. Are you seeing it? Divide your shoulder by 2. Whatever you get, mark it. Please add extra ½ inch allowance to it. That's if necessary. So next thing you are going to do is to do step down by 3 inches. For me, I normally use, for men is 2.5 to 3 inches, so as to slant the shoulder very well, so that the dress will relax very well on the shoulder. Now mark it out, as you can see. Okay, after you finish marking it out, please, as you can see, both of them are together. As you can see, now cut both of them out. Please still remember that the back is still longer than the front with 3 inches. Look at it at the down part. Now when you finish cutting both of them together, now push back the front part so as to be equal with the back part at the down part. Are you seeing it? Now leaving the 3 inches excess at the front back again. Okay, so now we've gotten back our excess allowance. Now next thing you are going to do is to do fold the back part so as it will be touching the front. Please, like I said, this method, as you can see, as you'll be folding it now fold it, take your iron and iron it out. Please, this helps the dress to relax very well at the shoulder. For some of us that be asking me about this one we are folding from back to the front, what is it for? Please, like I said, it helps the shoulder to relax very well. It helps to reduce those excess puffing around the armhole region and at the shoulder. Please, as you guys can see this cloth now, when you actually wear this clothes, it is actually going to be at the center of the shoulder. Okay, so take your iron and iron it out. Okay, make sure you iron it very well. Okay, make sure you iron it very well. As you can see, we are done ironing it. The back is coming to the front. Okay, next thing we are going to do is to do construct our armhole. In order for you to construct your armhole, you need to first of all mark out your shoulder. It is very necessary. In this case, our shoulder is 18 inches divided by 2, which is going to give us 9 inches. 18 inches divided by 2 is what? Okay, the shoulder I'll be using is 17 inches divided by 2 is going to be 8.5. Now make sure you add your extra ½ inch allowance. That is for the seam allowance. Okay, make sure you add it, as you can see. Okay, this is the 8.5. Now add extra ½ inch allowance. Okay, that is your seam allowance. Okay, please do the same thing. Go down and do the same thing. Please, the essence of doing this is to achieve a straight line, nothing else, just to achieve a straight line. Okay, now take your chalk and rule. Okay, next thing you are going to do is to do what the armhole length. Now there's something I do. My armhole length is usually whatever my shoulder is. My shoulder is 17 divided by 2, that is 8.5 plus half inch allowance, making it what, 9. My armhole length is also going to be what, 9 inches. Now you can as well add extra half inch, making it what, 9.5, because it is a free dress. Okay, now next thing we are going to do is to do what, to construct the what, armhole properly. That is the armhole curve. As you can see, in order to construct the armhole curve, diagonally mark out what, 1 inch. I use this to construct curves, any kind of curve. Okay, next thing you need to do, take your chalk and do what, construct the curve. Okay, now next thing we are going to do is to mark out what I call the what, the armhole effect. As you can see, in order for you to do armhole effect, whatever you have as your armhole length, divide it by 2. When you divide it by 2, step back by what, half or 3/4 inch. Okay, are you seeing it? When you step back, you now need to connect it. Are you seeing it? Now I've connected it. Please, I want you to know that armhole effect is mostly applied only in front of a cloth. Please, this armhole effect, the function is to help to reduce all the excess puffing around the what, armhole region. Like I said, it's only applied in front of a dress, not at the back. Now when you are cutting, make sure you cut from the original armhole, as you can see. Okay, now after you finish cutting, like I said, the armhole effect is only applied in front. Now cut out the armhole effect only on the front, like we are doing now. Okay, now I cut it off. As you can see, I'm cutting it off only on the front. It is very, very necessary for you to do that. Please make sure you like this video. Make sure you click on the like button so as to continue seeing our videos anywhere you go. Okay, are you seeing it? Now we've actually applied the word, the armhole effect only in front, not at the back. Okay, next thing we are going to do is to do what? Construct the what? Neck. So for us to construct the neck, we need the what? Neck width and the what? Neck depth. Okay, now neck width we are going to be using is 2.5. Please, I usually use 0.5 as average, except when you're making for a very fat person, you can now use what? 3 inches. Okay, are you seeing it? Mark out the 2.5 2 times so as to achieve a what? A straight line. Next we are going to do is to do what? The neck depth. The neck depth, I can use like 3 inches or 3.5 inches. Do you understand? The essence of using that 3 inches so as not to get an excess neck. It's not usually okay when you get excess neck. It's better you get a neck that is not up to what you should have. Then later you can trim it. Okay, now mark it out. Okay, now next thing you are going to do is to do or curve out the neck. Just do it the way I am doing it. Now how do you really curve it out? The same thing I did, diagonally mark out what? 1 inch, as you can see. Okay, now use it and curve the neck. Please also do the same curving at the back. Now this time around it is not 1 inch, diagonally mark out what? Half inch, as you can see there. Okay, now look at it very well. Are you seeing it? Half inch. Okay, now we finish constructing the neck. Okay, next thing we are going to do is to do what? To cut out the neck. Now for you to cut out the neck, please don't put your scissors and cut out both the front and the back. Only the front. Lift it up. Now cut it off like this. Are you seeing it? Okay, I've cut it off. Now remaining the back part. Okay, cut it off like this. Now make sure you open it up. Open it up. Now step down a little bit with like half inch from that folding line. Step down a little bit, as you can see, with half inch from that folding line, and cut it off. It is very, very necessary you do that. Now look at it very well. Are you seeing it? I've stepped down with like half inch extra. Okay, are you seeing it? Like what? Half inch extra, or even up to 1, because when you actually join the cloth, it's going to reduce. Okay, then when you are done, next thing you need to do is to do what? Take your scissors and cut it off. Okay, after you finish cutting it off, next thing you are going to do is to impute the what? The chest. That is the what? Body circumference. So in order for you to impute the body circumference, for men, we impute our chest circumference at the what? Armhole line. That is where it is. For men, we don't have all these nipple points and underbust points. Okay, so whatever that is your chest. Now chest is what? 38 inches divided by 4 is what? 9.5. Now mark out your 9.5 and add extra 1.5 or 2 inches allowance, depending on how free or how fitted you want it to be. Okay, so please also do the same thing. Now next thing you need to do is to do what? Also go down, do the same thing in order to achieve a straight line. Okay, do the same thing, go down, mark it out, the same your chest, please. Now put your what? Allowance. Okay, next thing you are going to do is to do what? Take your rule and do what? Connect. Okay, now after you finish connecting, next thing we are going to do is to what? We want to add fitting. Now for you to add fitting, please, from your armhole measure out what? 14 inches. Please, this is average and standard, you can as well use it. Now that 14 divided by 2 to get what? 7. At that middle point, mark it. So at that point, take your tape and step back with what? Half inch. This is in order to get fitting. As you can see, we have 3 points now. Next thing we are going to do is to do what? Connect. Okay, make sure you connect. Are you seeing it? After you finish connecting, next thing you need to do is to do what? Take your scissors and cut it off. Okay, so after cutting it off, next thing we are going to do now is to do what? We are going to curve out the down part, because I don't want to leave it straight. You understand? I want to curve it out like a shirt. So in order to curve it out, the simplest way of doing it is, as you can see, is the curve. Simplest way of doing it, just take your tape, make sure you measure out. You can, depending on how deep you want the curve to be, but for me, I'll be using what? 2 inches. Are you seeing it? Now mark it out. From there, measure 2 inches, mark it out, and curve it the same way I am curving it. Okay, use the same method as I'm curving it now to also curve it out. Okay, as you can see, I've done the curving. Next thing, take your scissors and cut it off. It is very, very necessary for you to do that. Okay, so please don't fail to click on that like button. Click on the like button so you can be seeing our videos. Okay, as you can see, we are almost done with the shirt. So I'm going to teach us how to prepare the flap. That is the place the button and the buttonhole is going to be. Now open it up. First of all, what you need to do is to do what? Take your scissors and open it out and cut it out. As you can see, what we have here is 2 inches. Please, it can be 2.5 depending on how you want yours to be. Now take your scissors and do what? Cut it off. Open it, because it is still joined, it's still one material. Now open it. Okay, like I said, I'm going to teach us how to prepare it. Then after that, we are done with this video. Okay, so now you've opened it. Next thing you need to do is to what? Notch. Just notch that part. Just notch it. Okay, after that, next thing you are going to do is to do what? Fold it out. But now this is the part that you need to really pay good attention to. Now folding it out, there is a way you fold it out. You don't fold everything. You don't fold the 2 inches which you've actually folded out initially. Now in this case, instead of folding 2 inches, you fold out 1.5. As you can see, look at it, I'm leaving half inch. Are you seeing it? I'm not folding exactly that 2 inches. I'm leaving out what? Half inch. Now this half inch is serving for the what? The overlapping of the shirt. Please, it is very necessary. And whatever you do on this very side, make sure you also do it on the other side. Please, I want you to pay full attention to this very part. Okay, now look at it. Okay, as you seeing it, it is no longer up to 2 inches, rather it is what? 1.5 inches fold. Okay, please do the same thing to the other side, like I'm going to do now. Okay, look at it very well. Okay, look at it. Okay, look at the 2 inches, we have it already. Now instead of folding everything, I'm bringing out extra half inch and I'm re-ironing. Are you seeing it? Okay, so I will do the same thing. So after I'm done, I will now have to finish up the folding by making it to be neat. Okay, so I want you to still pay full attention so as you see how I make it to be neat. Okay, so after you are done doing the initial ironing, now turn it. Next you are going to do is you are going to what? Finish it up. Now iron a little bit more so as for it to relax. Now open it. As you can see, that rough edge, you need to fold it again so as to get a neat finishing. Now after you finish, now look at it, fold it and iron. Make sure you iron. Do the same thing to the other side of the shirt. It is very, very necessary. Okay, so after you are done ironing, next thing you are going to do is to do what? Now fold it. Okay, gradually iron very well. Make sure you are good with your iron. Okay, now thank you. Now fold it well. Okay, now iron again to relax it. Please, after you are done at this stage, next thing you need to do, first of all, sometimes when you are sewing it, it tends to be moving in a way you don't like. So I will introduce you to what I call hemming gum. Now you have to use your hemming gum and what hold it firm so that when you are sewing it will not be moving anyhow. Okay, I know so many of us do have problem with this kind of folding. Okay, now look at it. I'm going to get the hemming gum. Now look at the hemming gum. Take it. Me, I don't like using the whole hemming gum because it makes my clothes to be so thick the way I don't like, except I really want that part to be very thick. So what I do is I divide it into 2 or 3 depending. So after I finish dividing it, and I use one part of it to gum on this very side. Okay, now look at what I'm going to be doing now. Are you seeing it? Put it inside. Okay, then fold back and do what? Iron. Okay. Please make sure you subscribe to my channel. Make sure you click on that like button to like this video. Make sure you like it so as for you to continue getting our videos. Okay, are you seeing it? I'm done ironing this very side, so I will do the same thing to the other side. Then at the end of the day, I can now go and sew it out. So please, I want you guys to, if you really want to see how I sew this, if you want me to post the video of the sewing part, please, I want you to make sure you click on that like button, like this video, because the more you like this video, the more others get to see it. Okay, make sure you like this video. That one is very, very important. Okay, then later I will now post the sewing part, and I also post the collar part, how to make the shirt collar. It is very necessary. As you can see, wow, the cloth is out. Are you saying it? So next thing is to do what? Cut out the sleeve and do what? Sew. Like I said, if you want to see how I did the sewing, I want you to do what? Make sure you click on that like button. Thank you very much, and may God bless you all for being here with me. I love you guys so much. I cherish you, and I ask you to continue watching my videos, and I keep doing great for you.